I am Iron Godzilla. You are on mute. Roar.
This is the best we got this week, really? All right, let's just start this thing. What's going on, everybody?
Wow, that's a way to start the show right there. It is the tagline with themes. It is Tuesday night, 9:30 p.m. Central Time. We are the Cinefanatics. My name is Robert Adams.
My name's Chris Adams, and shut up, Steve.
I mean, it could have been better. Sure. Was it? No. Will it be?
Guys, this is the show we've got tonight. We're gonna be in some kind of mood, I think.
Oh, good Lord.
Drink water.
Oh, I will when you're not, because it just looks weird if we both take a drink at the same time.
Hydrate or dihydrate, both at the same time. Let's do this.
Yeah. What's going on, y'all? I see we got Vernon here in the chat. We got Steve, Movie Fanobi, lame. How are y'all gentlemen doing tonight? I can't words already. Oh, yeah.
Words ever.
I can't words ever. So big heads up. Great way to promote this. Tomorrow we will be releasing our next ranking video. It is the top 10 superheroes of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, in our opinion. If you are on the $10 tier on our Patreon, which I believe is the Avengers tier. If you're on the Avengers tier,
if you are on our Patreon,
you will get bonus content that we filmed afterwards, plus some bloopers, and you are going to see how well I can word, because there's some good stuff in there. So
we like to have fun here, so we want to show the fun that we're having.
Yeah. So patreon.com/cinefanatics at the Avengers tier, the $10 tier or higher, you'll see that that should be tomorrow as well. Yeah, anyways, so that gets the Patreon promotion out of the way already. Streamlabs.com/cinefanatics if you have any questions, comments, anything. Oh man, whew. My face is already hurting from laughing so much. Just Garth. Thank you, Garth. Yeah, I spent all day at work today trying to think that, like, how am I going to open this show? And I was like, how about the Metal Godzilla thing? I am Metal Godzilla. And
wait. You actually spent time today thinking that up?
Yeah, I mean, it's Tuesday, so like retail stores typically aren't very busy. Retail stores and restaurants usually aren't that busy on a Tuesday, so there's a lot of sitting around time and time for me to think stuff up like that. So if you notice, that's why like a lot of your like restaurants, they have like a special on Tuesday. I think like Popeye's Chicken has like the 2 pieces of chicken for like $1.50 or something. Not sponsored, hashtags not sponsored, but that's
for future reference, when somebody asks you a question like that, you just say, "No, I was kidding."
See, I can drink water now.
Garth, if I was one of the viewers and subscribers, not fewer. Hey, you know what? There's an audience for everything.
Yeah. What is that? Rule 34?
Yeah. Rule 34 only safe for work.
Yeah. Anyways, we got a good couple of stories to talk about tonight. How's everything been going this past week? We don't know. We've both been like extremely busy, so not much really has happened over this past week, at least for me. As for you,
look, we're ramping stuff up on this channel. We're trying to make this thing into a well-oiled machine, so I've been sweating.
I've been oiling,
which is crazy because we've both literally just been sitting in these chairs.
Yeah, pretty much. It probably is about time for me to get a new one as well. So that will be happening at some point. I don't know when, but just whenever I feel like it. Anyways,
put it on the list. Where's our donate thing? Oh, we can't do that here.
We don't have that on StreamYard yet. There is a way of doing it though, but I haven't figured out how to do it. So just hey, if y'all want to donate, when you donate, I'll just make a weird, funny sound each time. So, for example,
a different sound.
Will be bring with a $9.99 super chat. Oh no, there goes Tokyo. Go Godzilla. I'm not seeing.
Oh, what's that? We got a Streamlab from Movie Fanobi saying, "I want my money back." Just kidding. Didn't do that. We love Steve. He's great.
Hey, I build the Mechagodzilla. I don't have the parts. I don't take Republic credits.
Oh, Watto. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Ryan Nielsen does that better than you.
Well, I can do it really well too. I just wasn't like really trying there.
You just want to save your voice for the rest of this.
Hey, Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? I know he did the Smooth Criminal the other day, and that was hilarious. But
hey, Garth is back home, so that's good. That's really good, Garth. We're excited that you're back home. That's awesome. I hope what they found for you while you were there in the hospital actually really helps. They were able to do something for you there, because man, I know those health issues can sometimes be a pain. Literally.
Yeah. Garth is saying, really, a phone ringing? That's your amazing sound effect? I mean, you want me to do the Hans Zimmer or however he does it? I'm pretty sure he does that with his mouth over the microphone.
Come, make another donation and we'll go.
You know, just as we see donations pop up, I'll just try to see what I could come up with off the top of my head. It might be like an impression, it might be a noise, but yeah. It won't be that. I promise it won't be what he just did. That won't happen ever again. But it will be probably something a lot lamer than that. So, anyways, not really too much as far as movies watched this past week. I don't think you didn't watch anything new. The only thing I actually watched brand new for the first time was The Craft. Took some time out Friday night, enjoyed a nice movie. I thought it was pretty decent. Pretty good movie. And let's see. I don't know why it's a crying baby.
Oh my gosh, that was awful. Oh no.
Well, it's $1.99 crying baby sound.
No, this is it. Oh no. That's what that is. Oh gosh. Oh geez. Oof.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna have nightmares about that one tonight.
I didn't know you could display the YouTube, but well, okay, it doesn't display when we click on it, I guess, but it does in the chat.
Yeah. Yeah. No, emoticons, emojis, whatever they call them now. Whatever the kids are calling them nowadays don't show up when we click on them here.
This is probably what I need to do, but in preparation for Godzilla versus Kong, is watch Skull Island again.
Yeah, Skull Island's great. I really liked it.
Anyways, so like I was saying, I watched The Craft, thought it was pretty good, pretty enjoyable. I know there's like this like sequel, somewhat reboot that came out, and I'm not sure how I feel about that. So I don't know if I want to watch it necessarily, but let's go. Huh?
Go for it. Go for it. Go for it. Click it. Do it.
Let's go with
that Earthling took my P32 modulator. After him, stop that Earthling. Thank you, Movie Fanobi, for that $1.99 super chat. We much appreciate it here. Thanks.
Your Stitch needs some work.
That's not my Stitch. That's my Marvin the Martian. Yes, I know. That's not Stitch. Stitch is Ohana means family.
You need to work on your yes and.
Family means nobody gets left behind.
That wasn't yes and, that was no, but...
Well, don't do that. Anyways, it's a silly night, y'all. It's just one of those. It's just one of those nights that a girl goes through.
DMCA.
Yeah, well, that's why I sang it in a man's voice instead of the woman's voice of the. So I'm tricking them.
That's the reason why. Nice.
What's that roll safe meme?
Yeah, right. It's going to be probably a little bit of a shorter show tonight, guys, just because we've got to get some stuff prepared for other things happening on the channel and whatnot. So we're probably going to have both of us put our headphones in, and then we're going to get to some movie news stories here really quickly and rapid fire through some of these things. I know kind of the two big ones right now are the movies being pushed back and the Mechagodzilla.
Anyways, yeah. So there's gonna be a Harry Potter show on HBO Max.
That reminds me, I need to rewatch the Harry Potter movies.
Yeah. Especially like have you gotten into the Fantastic Beasts?
Oh,
series?
I've never watched any of the Fantastic Beasts movies. I heard they're awful.
I watched the first one. The first one, like, I know I was like really tired at the time, so I may have fallen asleep for like a little bit around the middle. Otherwise, the first one I feel like had a pretty decent plot. What little I had to like pick up on, like reading Wikipedia, like, oh, that's what happened for that like 5 minutes I zonked out. But otherwise, I thought it was a pretty good movie. Nice little twist at the end, I thought.
When this pops up, I'll take it. Don't worry about it. There it is. Hey, Vernon. Probably just might not just, kind of just.
Nope. No idea what he's talking about.
Hey, all right.
Yeah,
I get audio listeners, watch the video.
Yeah, I get plenty of sleep, so I'm fine. I'm good. That does remind me, though. I do want to like go back and rewatch like a lot of movies, like when I was a kid. So, quick detour from the Harry Potter already. But when I was a kid, there were like a couple of movies I watched all the time that I know like every single inch of those movies. Like the original Ninja Turtles. Absolutely know like every single inch of that movie. I was able to quote it. I could almost like say like frames. I was like that with like, what was it? Like Mary Poppins. I was like that. Peach Dragon, Nightmare on Elm Street. Just throwing out, these are all movies that I know like absolutely every single thing that happens to every single person in every single moment. Like if I was to do any kind of like a quiz over these movies, oh, there would be no question of who's dominating these. So yeah, I would love to do any of those movies at any time would be fantastic. Just because it's a nice like little ego stroke, and I was going to do a hand gesture, but I guess I won't. Anyways.
Hi, I'm the manager for Robert Adams, and let me tell you one thing right now. If you're trying to combat him at horror movies...
When did I get representation by Team Action?
See, when you put on the shades, that's when you go heel. That's what those are for.
Yeah, apparently when I put on my shades, I become like some other like character.
Every time I do that, you have to put those on, and those are ridiculous looking because
they're the only ones I have sitting here.
Well, don't get new ones then. Darn kids. Anyway, back to Harry Potter. Fantastic Beasts sounds like it's it could be the best snap I would ever have.
Yeah. Again, there was a part of it that I thought was slow, but at least for the most part, the first movie had a decent storyline to it. I haven't gotten around to seeing the other one.
Yeah.
Oh, butterbeer.
Garth brings this up. I want a Fantastic Yeasts movie about a butterbeer factory. Here's the thing. Again, need to rewatch Harry Potter and Harry Potter adjacent content still. Again, need to rewatch it all. Butterbeer is my favorite thing from Harry Potter. And the reason why is because when we went to Universal Studios, that was like the one thing on my bucket list. Like, I need to try some butterbeer while we're here. Whatever they come up with in the park. Fantastic stuff. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like we're not huge fans of Harry Potter, so we walked into the Harry Potter world, and how far is it? Would you say like maybe like 20, 30 feet into the entrance of it is where you have like the standalone cart of people serving butterbeer? Like that's as far as we went in there, got the butterbeer, enjoyed it, and then buggered out. So butterbeer.
I didn't even stay there and enjoy it. I took it with me. Like, hey, thanks for the butterbeer. I'm out of Harry Potter world now.
Yeah. So we do need to revisit that. But on the other hand, the TV show that they have coming out, I kind of like this idea. Because one thing I read about it is that apparently there's a storyline that also happens within the books that they edited out of the movies just to keep it short and more condensed. Kind of like those of y'all who are familiar with Watchmen. Let's bring it back to comic books for a second. For Watchmen, there was the Tales of the Black Freighter that was in the actual comic book that was like a separate kind of like it was kind of like the antithesis of the actual main Watchmen story that just kind of like ran along with it. Well, they took it out of the movies. They put it back in later in like the Ultimate Director's super extended cut, whatever it's called. Kind of like that. This is a side story that kind of like ran with Harry Potter. And I guess what I read earlier was they were hinting at, or it was strongly rumored that this is what the show's going to be about.
Oh no.
It's fake news. Okay. Well, there was going to be one, but there probably won't be. Here's the thing, though. Like, this would be a smart move for Warner Brothers because, I mean, other than DC Comics, they don't really have a very high profitable franchise. I mean, what Lord of the Rings Warner Brothers? Who's streaming Lord of the Rings right now?
Lord of the Rings
HBO Max.
No, it is. It's on HBO Max.
It is. Is it? No, yeah, it is Warner Brothers because it was done by New Line. So New Line Cinema did that. So yeah, it's a Warner Brothers owned property. So yeah, other than Lord of the Rings and DC, that's the other big property that they own. So yeah, a Harry Potter TV show might do very well.
Here's the one thing. Yeah, it was announced that there was going to be a Harry Potter show, but then the studio's denying it. Here's the thing, though. Are we sure that the studio is denying it completely, or they just didn't want that news out yet?
Because there's a huge difference there.
There's a difference between it's not happening or we just didn't want you guys to know about it yet.
Me as J.J. Abrams absolutely denies that Khan is showing up in my second Star Trek movie. He's not showing up in my Star Wars movie either.
Yeah. Either way, if this being true that they just completely 100% are not working on it, which I know these kinds of rumors have been flying around for like years now. That just means that it's one less show that we have to keep up with on this channel in regards to like the Star Wars and the Marvel and all those shows. Because man, I would have to rewatch all these Harry Potter movies in order to jump into that show and kind of know what I'm talking about.
That might be one. That might be one where we get someone who's also a big Harry Potter fan to join us on like a live review. So, which we might be open for doing stuff like that in the future. We'll talk about it off camera and not over the entire world on the internet. So, anyways, moving on from there. So we shift from things that we thought are happening that are not to things that will be happening. We just don't know when. As again, movies are being pushed back. Here's the funny one, and I'm going to go ahead and mention this now instead of along with like the news in the same family. They did report today that Godzilla versus Kong, even though the trailer came out 2 days ago, it is being pushed back now 1 week.
Oh no! Oh no!
So. I like that was one that they were talking about. Like, this is the only movie that's actually coming forward, and they're pushing it back the 1 week. So I like that. Real quick though, I do want to go before we continue talking about stuff being pushed back, we got a couple of things in the chat. Brandon Buckingham, hey guys, hey Buck, how are you doing? Schmo me the money, subscribe, thank you very much.
Thank you, Buck.
Yeah. What else do we got in here? The Addams Brothers will be in my Star Wars movie. Yeah.
You ever do those Star Wars, like find out what your Star Wars name is? It's like it's first 3 letters of your first name, 2 letters of your last name, your mother's maiden name, or something like that. I don't know why I brought this up because I can't remember what mine was, but I remember like, oh, actually it does sound like a Star Wars name.
I thought it was like the street you lived on and then your like pet's name. I can't remember if that was my Star Wars name or if that was my stripper name, but one of the two. Really
either one, the street we lived on would not work for it. It's got a color in its title.
Yeah. So also we've got, let me see, what should I do with them? Oh, okay. So we got a donation from Garth McMurray. Exit stage right even. Heavens to Murgatroyd. Heavens to Mechagodzilla. There you go. There's my Pink Panther impression.
That's not Pink Panther.
That's not Pink Panther. That's Snagglepuss. I didn't want to say Snagglepuss on our stream, so I decided to say Pink Panther instead. I'm kind of iffy about the Snagglepuss.
Firing on all cylinders tonight.
It says breaking news is official that in Godzilla vs. Kong in the 3rd act, The Rock shows up with the giant white Godzilla George from Rampage. The story is from Got Your Cosmic News Covered, so you know it's real. Also, please stop with the sound effects. No.
Giant white Godzilla George.
Yeah.
The word of the day is gorilla.
Oh, okay. Anything else?
You good? You good?
I'm good.
You okay there? You all right? You got your stuff together? All right,
I
carry
am.
on.
Awesome. Thank you for the permission on that, sir. I will move forward. Please, sub. May I have some more?
Okay.
Ooh, that was weird.
I'll take over the soundboards going.
Yeah, let's have you have a shot at it.
And when we do it, so are we doing impressions for soundboard, or are we just making random noises? Because it kind of pivoted.
Yeah, I kind of moved into impressions just because I don't feel like it's really known like what voices we can and can't do. So I kind of like to let people know what voices we can do. So if you would like to start taking them over and just start doing voice impressions, that'd be cool. Please use a soundboard. Stop making weird noise. I don't. Unfortunately, we can't connect our soundboard to StreamYard. Is the issue?
Yeah.
So otherwise,
we're gonna pivot from weird noises to impressions. It sounds like so. We'll see how many. We'll see how many I've got in my repertoire. Apparently, French is not one of them.
So other movies we got, like the big one that's been pushed back was No Time to Die. So once again,
the title does not make any sense anymore.
Yeah. And I was trying to think of like what would be a good title at this point, but I keep seeing more and more people on the internet doing it. Like, you've got all the time in the world to die at this point. Like, just take your time. I mean, there's plenty of it. It's been like over a whole year. So one thing I do want to say with that, though, I thought it was funny, is I was reading something that was saying that they have to go back now and reshoot some scenes for that movie, just because apparently over the past like 2 years since it was finished, some stuff hasn't aged very well. So that's also a possible leading into why it's being pushed back, and not necessarily because of the pandemic.
I mean, at this point, you might as well, if you've got the opportunity to do so, and you can save yourself from like offending a mass multitude of people by cutting some stuff out. You might as well pump the brakes a little bit. Let's, because what was it? That was I mean, at this point, movies are destined for like day and date video on demand release and theater release. I mean, outside of the ones obviously that are getting pushed back, but most of them are getting pushed back till later this year or right at the beginning of next year. So, I mean, these movies getting pushed back they're kind of slowing down how far back they're pushing them. That being said, I know this topic has been covered in a lot of places, and a lot of people who talk about it are like, hey, maybe just stop telling us dates that you're moving them to and just kind of, come up with dates when it seems like it makes sense to come up with dates. That way we're not like, all right, so now we're expecting Fast and Furious next year again.
Yeah.
They haven't moved that one, guys. I'm just kidding. No, not yet.
That one is very susceptible to also getting the pushback.
That's crazy. That is crazy. Oh my gosh. It was already pushed back a year, so it's like they're gonna push it back again. Man, I don't know about these. I don't know about this. I just want day and date now, because like the theater next near us is it's open. We can be safe at going to that theater, so just put this where people can get it online for those who don't have access to a theater who can't safely go to a theater. That way they still get these new movies, and then put it in the theaters for those who can make safe trips to the theater. I think that's just the best bet for all these things now.
Yeah, because eventually, I feel like we said this before. Eventually, all these movies are going to get so jam packed. It's going to be hard for movies later on, like say even in 2 years, 3 years from now, to be able to have a regular release schedule, because everything is just going to be so jam packed. You're going to have a blockbuster that was supposed to come out 3 weeks ago now coming out the week before another major blockbuster that wanted its own like 2 to 3 weeks of breathing room. So It's going to be really hard for them to all catch on and be able to recoup some of the money that was already spent on them. So,
I mean, yeah, really, I feel like at this point, no matter what's going to happen, coming out in 2023, everything. I feel like that you like the Gary Oldman there. Everyone.
Yeah.
But no, it's you gotta get these movies out eventually, because no matter what's going to happen, you're going to lose money on them in some capacity. It's just how the world is right now. Whether you're putting them out on day and date, you're going to lose some money for viewers who are going to watch them on demand or are watching them through a streaming service, or you're going to wait till theater and put them up against competition that you're going to be splitting the cost, because people are going to be going to this movie, not this movie, or this movie, not and it's going to be a mess. So you got to start rolling them out no matter what. And like, especially I'm looking at, again, we've talked about this before, I'm looking at Disney Plus and Black Widow here. Black Widow's got to come out now. That's just the case for the MCU, specifically the MCU, because they got a storyline they got to keep up, a larger storyline they got to keep up. They got to be able to release Falcon and Winter Soldier also, and if that one's got to wait for us to see Black Widow first, then they got to get that out so they can continue their release schedule. They're just gonna have to cut losses where they have to cut losses.
And see, I think they might be testing this because what's the new Disney animated one that's coming out? Was it Raya?
Oh, Raya and the Last Dragon.
Yeah, that one they're doing the same premiere access that they did with Mulan. In fact, it's coming out also at the same $30 $29.99 price tag that Mulan has. I'm wondering if they're changing anything with this at all, other than the premiere access. Is there something else they're doing on the back end to kind of get an idea of, is this something that they could feasibly do for Black Widow? Like, I'm wondering if there's like any more like eyes on this, any variables they changed from when they did it with Mulan, because I don't think when they released Mulan, I don't know if they necessarily had in mind, hey, let's keep it. Let's think about this because we might eventually have to do Black Widow this way. Now I think they're starting to look at it like this might be how we have to do Black Widow as well. So let's see what else we could potentially learn from this format, and then we'll move on from there.
Yeah, because I mean, it sounds like it. obviously it sounds like we're kind of beating a dead horse, which I mean, at this point, we've gone a whole year of doing this. We're about to have to go through at least another half a year. We're talking about vaccine rollout when we're talking about when do people feel safe going back to a theater, and vaccine rollout is, based on more recent statements from Dr. Fauci, we're not looking till like fall of this year where things start feeling like going back to normal, provided, you got 75 to 85% of people have taken the vaccine. I think we'll get there. There is a large grouping of people that probably aren't going to want to go for the vaccine, and that's beside the point. The point is, I think we're going to have enough people at this point who have just been so like bogged down having to stay indoors for so long. They're like, give me this vaccine. I've got to get out of here. I've got to get back to the way life was before. So apparently there was news today that I guess Biden has pushed for like 200 million vaccines to be purchased by the government and given to Americans, that they believe that everything should be 100% back to normal. The goal is by this coming fall. So yeah, very, very realistic on that. Come on, let's do it. Let's get it. Come on. I want to get back into a movie theater.
Well, I mean, we can go, but I want it all to be back to normal.
Sorry. Let me rephrase that. I want to be back into a movie theater with a lot of other people so that we can all enjoy the cinematic experience together like we're all supposed to.
Yeah. If y'all could all just still stay the one chair away, you don't have to be like hugged up right on us when there's plenty. I'm just saying, we could still stay like a little spaced apart. But don't need to be 6 feet. But anyways,
yeah.
Real
quick, go ahead.
The which one?
Go ahead.
The other one, like Morbius has been pushed back. Ghostbusters has been pushed back. The other one I saw that was kind of interesting was Uncharted had been pushed back. There hasn't been too many movies that were actually like pretty much not really even in like full development, I guess, when the pandemic started, that are being pushed back yet. I think we've had we had one movie at the beginning of this year. Oh, the Coming to America, I believe, was the one that was pushed back. And then pushed to Amazon. But we haven't had too many movies that hadn't really like even had a release date or just recently got a release date and then pushed back like that. So Uncharted is a new one. It's in uncharted territory, I guess.
No. Okay, come back.
Wasn't really trying to be funny. I was just saying a phrase.
It was your timeout. Carry on.
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, movies are being pushed back again. Conversation as usual.
It's the conversation that we've been used to since starting the show March last year, right before the pandemic actually hit.
Yeah.
No, but I don't. Yeah, Uncharted's an interesting one because I don't know when I think the actual release was supposed to be for later this year, or at least for like maybe summer this year or something. They were like hitting that one fast. But it's interesting that one got pushed back to next year. I'm kind of okay with that one just because I don't necessarily know I was sold out to be ready to see that one this year anyway. I know earlier on Batman got pushed to next year. I think we were supposed to get Batman later this year also, but that one got pushed. And I know that we're still supposed to get the next Jurassic World movie is slated for next year also. So yeah, there's a lot of interesting stuff happening there. Looks like Movie Fanobi's taking on before you. So we want to hit your super chat because I saw it earlier here. Yeah. Soundboard, Younger Adams, and only Younger Adams. That's me. Hi, Movie Fanobi. Thank you for your donation. Appreciate it very much. It's great to have you in our chat donating. Really revs my gears, if you know what I mean. Anyway,
that is the best Mahershala Ali impression I've ever heard.
Oh my gosh, that was so
fantastic.
I'm playing Blade in the MCU. Get ready for my movie. It's gonna be great. Nice Mahershala Ali.
Yeah. So if you want to hear my brother's Mahershala Ali impression again, feel free to drop some more. We're going to start increasing the value of this, though. Mahershala Ali, that's a 50 spot.
for my own ego, y'all let me know how you feel like that stacks up with Brett Sheridan's Christopher Walken, because I personally feel like it's better. That Chris Walken might not be in Brett Sheridan's repertoire, but hey, it's neither here nor there. Yeah. Oh gosh, I just got done. We got another one, another soundboard. What's the next one I should do? Oh, hey, Moby Fanobi. It's Patrick Warburton here. Thank you. Super chats for us getting super chats. Appreciate it. Moby Fanobi. Squeaking.
Also a really good Mahershala Ali impression.
Oh my gosh, stop it. You're gonna get us in trouble somehow, someone.
Someone's eventually gonna click on this, maybe, possibly, hopefully, at some point and go, that's how that guy sounds? I'm gonna have to go back and watch another Mahershala Ali movie.
I don't remember sounding like that in Moonlight.
Yeah. So as far as talking about Warner Brothers still, there's a rumor that due to what has happened with Warner Brothers, their decision with releasing movies during the pandemic, that Christopher Nolan may sever all ties with Warner Brothers. No more directing specifically for them.
And the most surprising news of 2021 goes to not that story.
Yeah. I'm kind of wondering if there's any truth to this. I don't know, like, if and when this will get announced. This is probably one of those that, like, it's not going to be, like, actually publicly confirmed, but the next time we hear of a Christopher Nolan film and it's being produced by Universal or someone else completely, that's where we're going to be like, he did leave Warner Brothers. This is a difficult decision just because everybody's trying to make a decision as to what's right for them, what's right, like, say, for directors, what's right for your art, what's right for your craft that you're creating. You control, like, how you want it to be seen. Going back to, like, say, Alfred Hitchcock, he used to have movies, I think it was with Psycho, he told the movie theater specifically, once the movie starts, you're not allowed to let anyone come into the theater. You have to be here when the movie starts from the very beginning, otherwise you can't see it. This movie is important enough, you better make sure you make it a priority to be here on time. He had that kind of clout, that kind of control, just that, even of the movie theaters. Christopher Nolan here, he just wants his movie to be seen on a big screen. He's not telling necessarily the theaters exactly how to control the audience. He might control, like, hey, I want this, like, sound equipment put in. I want it to be heard at this rate, this level. Who was the other one? There was another one I read where they said, was it, I think it was like David Lynch did it with Mulholland Drive. Like, he wanted a specific type of audio equipment played at a certain decibel level, and then he wanted the projectionist to move the projector up a certain amount, like just take it like slightly out of frame, just to throw the way the movie looks on the big screen off, to where it's off kilter. You know something's not quite right, but you're not sure what it is. And that's awesome to be able to have that control, that's how you want your art to be presented. So
yeah, because then that comes down to, it's not just how I shot it, how it's filmed, the equipment I used to film it. The art even comes down to the presentation of it. And I don't like how many. I mean, I guess you can do that with different forms of art. Like, you want your painting up in a museum, but you want a certain way of presenting it. You want, like, performance art around your painting being shown in a museum. It feels like that sort of thing, which that's fascinating to me, just from an appreciating the art side of things. Mm-hmm. And so like we're talking about like Chris Nolan here, and we all know like the stink that was put up over the course of the summer of I need Tenet to be seen in the theaters. It needs to be out now. And regardless of how one person feels about trying to push Tenet into the theaters right now during the pandemic, and to what degree Chris Nolan had control over that, I get it. Here's the thing. I'm of two minds about this, and you may or may not agree with me here. I think Warner Brothers is doing the right thing with their first run movies. I talked about this before. These movies need to get out. They need to be seen. You're going to have to day and date some of these with theaters where they can be, streaming services and video on demand where they can't. That's just how it is. Cut your losses. That's the world we live in right now. And I think Warner Brothers is doing the right thing. The issue is, and I think the real issue that Nolan had with this was, hey, maybe give your artists, your directors, your actors, everybody who like had a hand in these films, maybe give them a little bit more of a heads up, like this is what you're doing. Warner Bros. Just didn't do it the right way. It's kind of like they came up with a decision in their boardroom and then immediately put it on print. And it's like, wait, you didn't kind of make the correct phone calls first that you needed to make before making that decision. And I think that might be the biggest issue that Nolan has. And to that degree, I think I do agree with him. And if that's what's leading him to kind of want to sever ties with Warner Brothers, I get it. I think any number of the other studios at this point will be glad to welcome Chris Nolan into I think Universal's over here going, yes, please come here. We will treat you right.
That was going to be my next point. Is like he might leave Warner Brothers, but it's not like he's going to be hurting for a new studio to call home. Everybody's going to want his films. He's one of those few directors that you could almost guarantee a certain amount of box office returns just based off of his name alone. Like Christopher Nolan's got that. I know at least with you, and I believe I've seen this as well. I believe Damien Chazelle is starting to get into that realm as well, where you want to see his movies.
I wouldn't say that Damien Chazelle with like the general audience is there yet. For me, yes, because I loved Whiplash, I loved La La Land, obviously, and I thought First Man was great. So the next Damien Chazelle movie that comes out, I'm like, yep, I'm in the theater for that. But that's the thing. Chris Nolan's movies are event films. You go to the theater to see them. That's the kind of movie that he creates. Now, if he does the same thing with his next movie that he did with Tenet, where I can't understand a word they're saying while I'm in the theater, the sound design is off, which has happened in some of his movies before, I'm going to kind of be like, hey, man, why don't you fix that a little bit if you want us to go see your movie in the theater? I'm just saying, can't understand a word they're saying. But outside of that, no. His movies sell tickets because they're event movies that you go to the theater to see.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm kind of hoping that it's not true, but I mean, I understand that like if this is where it's going, again, he's going to be comfortable wherever he goes.
I get it.
Yeah. Not really any real way to pivot into this one. Jim Gaffigan is going to play Mr. Smee in the live-action Peter Pan movie that Disney is doing. This is the one that has Jude Law as Captain Hook.
Not necessarily down for another Peter Pan movie, but the casting sounds good.
I don't know if we actually have casting on Peter Pan himself yet, or if we do. I remember I've seen like the names of people in there, and there's a couple of them in there I'm not familiar with. Like it might have been like the ones casted as like Wendy or Peter or John or Michael, or I mean, if you want me to go through the list of the Lost Boys, Rufy, probably not.
If Peter Pan's not played by Anna Kendrick, I don't care.
If Peter Pan's not played by Anna Kendrick,
yeah,
that's awesome. Like throwback to Mary Martin.
Look, it's just like, Peter Pan is usually portrayed by a female in a lot of things, whether it's like stage shows. I know, like obviously you had Robin Williams in Hook, but a lot of times you see Peter Pan portrayed by a female. So it's like, let's keep the tradition alive. Put Anna Kendrick in there.
You know, here's the thing. That's not a bad idea because that, like I was saying, that's a nice throwback to the Mary Martin is the one that you primarily are thinking of. Mary Martin portraying the theatrical version of Peter Pan. That's not a bad idea. I mean, I'm kind of interested in that if they were to go that route. But I remember just as a kid, I was like, why is Peter Pan a woman? That's weird. I'm sure a lot of like different groups, political and whatever groups out there be like, why is my Peter Pan a female? It's like, you know, it's just so again, kind of like me as a kid. Hey, Peter Pan's a woman. That's weird. Well, let's see a bunch of people react like I did as a kid.
Right. I don't know if Anna Kendrick would be like the best choice, and if you go that direction, that's just the first one that popped in my head. I also would pick Anna Kendrick for Tinkerbell too. So
I would say she would probably do a good Tinkerbell, but
any of the above. I'm sure there's like plenty of fantastic choices all the way around. What's her name from the latest Terminator movie, Dark Fate?
Oh yeah, yes,
she'd be a good Peter Pan also.
Yeah. I could see her as like a Mary Martin type character.
Yeah.
Her name escapes me.
Petra Pan.
Nice.
Nice.
Schmodown. I can't think of her name.
Putting you on the spot.
Can I have multiple?
Hey, let's see if you can get it faster than the chat or my IMDb.
Well, you know the chat's already going for it because of the delay here. So
you're losing right now.
Yeah, I'm not gonna pull it.
Mackenzie Davis, I win.
That's it. Mackenzie Davis, exactly what I was thinking.
Cast her as Peter Pan. I think that'd actually be a really solid cast.
Yeah. So Jim Gaffigan is Mr. Smee. I like that. I think Jim Gaffigan's really tall though, and Mr. Smee's usually since he's supposed to be the clumsy sidekick. I think he might be like taller than Jude Law, so that might make things a little awkward unless they do like a forced perspective type of effect on him. But
well, I would imagine that the boots that Jude Law would be wearing would probably add a couple inches, so probably be fine. But yeah, I mean, here's the thing: the casting's not bad. It's pretty good casting. I can easily see Jim Gaffigan as Smee. Again, it remains to be seen as to whether or not I care about seeing another Peter Pan adaptation, especially after like Pan and whatever else came out recently that I didn't watch.
Yeah, just as long as ScarJo's not Tiger Lily, I think we're fine. So moving on, this news came out today, and I know this is one that you're going to be very interested in. Because of the success of what's this movie that came out like There Will Be Heroes or They Are Heroes or There's Gonna Be Heroes.
Lord.
Kind of like a newer expansion of the Shark Boy and Lava Girls series.
We can be heroes.
We can be heroes for just one day.
Yes. That's the name of the movie.
So because that was successful, Robert Rodriguez is going back going, let's see if we can dig up that old Spy Kids franchise.
Pass.
So yeah, I know you liked Spy Kids when you were younger.
The first two, yeah.
Yeah, I was out of I was out of the demographic for Spy Kids to be appealing to at that time. I think I went and saw the third one just because it had 3D and Stallone in it, and I remember leaving there. I'm like, oh, why?
Stallone needed a paycheck.
Yeah, I guess, but
he hadn't revived Rocky yet.
I think I've seen the first one. I can't remember if I've seen the second one, but I know I've seen the first one, and I remember like for a kids movie, it wasn't that bad. But by then we had already had other movies by Robert Rodriguez, like Desperado, From Dusk Till Dawn, The Faculty. Like all of these movies have already come out, and I was like, okay, so we're gonna just switch over to this like little kids movie. And it was pretty good. And then they came out with Machete from Grindhouse. Yeah. And then they made the whole movie of him. And I'm like, man, all those like kids that are watching Spy Kids now and they're used to Danny Trejo's Machete and that. And then they go back and they watch this movie. They're like, oh, that something is not kid friendly in this anymore.
But it's hilarious. he's playing basically the same character too.
Yeah,
he's Uncle Machete in the Spy Kids movies, and it's the same character, and it's just obviously different genre of movie completely. So it's a lot more adult friendly in the Machete movies. But here's the thing: the first two movies, if he goes back and he does it like the first two movies, you know, obviously with updated special effects and whatnot, because those are what made the first two movies special, was the special effects used in them. Not perfect, but those movies were silly. They were goofy. They were ridiculous, fun, and perfect for kids.
Wasn't there like a walking thumb or something like that?
Yeah. I forgot what they were called, but they were literally just all thumbs, thumb arms, thumb legs, thumb heads. It might have just been thumb heads. I don't know, but they were just a fantastic time for kids. Some stuff in there for adults to be like, I got it. Yeah, that's cute. But the first two movies, perfect for kids. If they can go back to that kind of style and do something like that again, then maybe return it back to its roots. But Kids 3, no. And then the new ones they made with was it Jessica Alba and Joel McHale, the Spy Kids 4. That one seemed like it was like, okay, why? So I don't know, because of at least the Spy Kids 4, I'm like, I don't trust that this is a good idea. But yeah, I mean, obviously it remains to be seen. I say if you can go back and capture the same magic that you had in the first two Spy Kids movies, then introduce a whole new generation of kids to some new fun kids movies that really hit that demographic well.
Yeah. So carrying on from there, let's get into our main topic of tonight. 2 days ago, the trailer for Godzilla vs. Kong was released. Again, those of y'all watching, y'all have any questions, comments, make sure to drop them Streamlabs, Super Chat. But the trailer was released, and through recurring watchings of this trailer, we didn't notice it in our reaction at the time, but through recurring watchings of this trailer, it's starting to look like that there might be a bit of a Mechagodzilla in there.
Mechagodzilla.
Now, this is something I wasn't quite familiar that Mechagodzilla was going to be in this movie. Apparently, there were leaks from, I guess, a toy fair showing a toy of Mechagodzilla.
Dang toys.
Here's the thing, like historically, toys don't necessarily mean everything. Just because you saw a toy of it doesn't always necessarily give away that character is going to be in there. For example, let's go back to 1992 when Batman Returns came out. Kenner, who had the toy property at that time, or it might have been Toy Biz, actually, they released a toy of Robin from Batman Returns. In the original script, Robin was supposed to be a part of that movie in some form, but they released a Robin toy, and everyone was like, oh, Robin's going to be in this movie, and of course, he wasn't. So just because there's a toy of it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to show up in the movie. It just might be trying to capitalize on the fact that Godzilla and King Kong are a hot property right now. Let's go ahead and release toys of it. Like they could be doing King Ghidorah or Ghidorah. His name.
Yeah, I don't remember, if I recall correctly, going back to Return of the Jedi, I don't remember Boba Fett flying around with just like a giant wingsuit with missile cannons on it. But yet there was a deluxe figure that existed of him in that. So yeah, toys don't necessarily always represent things that are in movies.
But so going back and watching the trailer, it does look like in a couple of shots, primarily in the second shot of the movie, it does look like if you look in the background there, all these people are running down the stairs, and it looks like they're running away from essentially Godzilla, but this Godzilla is a little bit shiny, and there's that like what looks like red lights on it. There's another shot of it. So you got like these red lights on there. You can see what looks more like the mouth of this. And then I also, for posterity, I also did the very stereotypical zoom in and try to enhance. Yeah, the thing I'm looking at in here is the red lights on there. They look pretty uniform, especially off of this person's shoulder. There's like a row of what looks like about 4 lights or so. They're all in a row. So first of all, Godzilla primarily would have blue glowing and not necessarily lights coming from Godzilla's neck.
Yeah.
So these are red lights in a uniform pattern. It looks like it's kind of a shiny silver. This is probably a very good indication of Mechagodzilla.
Now, there's a different direction this can be taken. The silver coloring could just be lighting plus smoke, kind of giving off a silver glow to actual Godzilla. And then maybe instead of blue, Godzilla's inner workings and everything are glowing red now because he found some red kryptonite or something. I don't know.
Godzilla's angry.
He's angry. Something's wrong with Godzilla, so therefore he's glowing red instead of his usual blue. I feel like that's a stretch. I feel like what we're looking at, especially based on the fact that, again, there were toy leaks, is that more than likely this is Mecha Godzilla. It's not actual Godzilla. Now, why did they decide to put that in the trailer? Because he's far enough away and tucked away in the back that they felt like they could get away with. It's just Godzilla. Don't worry. Don't even worry about it. It's just Godzilla. But it's kind of stuff that I would rather like save for maybe a later trailer, like they saved Doomsday and BVS, or maybe don't follow in the footsteps of BVS and don't show us Mechagodzilla at all. Save that for the actual movie.
Yeah, that's one of those. I feel like that probably should have been kept completely under wraps, and then all of a sudden you see her like, whoa.
Yeah. Because now we're in a situation where we're talking about it, and I don't necessarily want to have been talking about it, but that's the discourse on the internet right now. So we got to bring it up and talk about it because everyone else is already talking about it. But I would have rather just like, hey, oh yeah, don't worry about it. We'll see it in the movie. But yeah. There's another image too. Were you going to bring that one up?
Yeah. So there was also later on in the trailer, there was this image, and looking at the computer screen behind this guy, it looks like it could be a Mechagodzilla, very mechanical looking, maybe with those red light highlights again.
Yeah, and I'm looking at his feet also, and they kind of look like they're just like metal chunks together instead of like normal lizard scales.
Yeah. And then I know you were looking at this and you were pointing out the words that are in front of it.
Yeah, look, this is battery systems, maximum charge, or something like that.
Yeah, so I mean, this could be like, I guess if like Monarch is actually in control of this Mechagodzilla, and this is like the booting up of charging it phase type of thing.
So that leads us to wonder if it's Monarch in control of it, are they trying to keep control over the Titans out here? To what degree is maybe what they're doing here setting Godzilla off, sending him on a rampage, which is what's killing a bunch of people because he's a big boy. And yeah, what rampage? Who? Yeah, tying all the properties together. They might be setting him off, sending him on a big Godzilla rager, so to speak, and that's when they got to bring in Kong to kind of put him at ease, chill him out a little bit. Let's bring in Kong to kind of calm him down. And I don't know, maybe something goes wrong. Maybe Charles Dance's character comes into play here because he wasn't such a good guy in King of the Monsters, so maybe he comes into play and. Well, then you got the Kong and Godzilla got to team up against the big bad robot Godzilla.
Yeah, I think this is one of those, like, you've got the character versus character, but then at some point in the movie, yeah, they have to team up to go against a mutual, like, enemy type of thing. So we've seen these in movies before. I'm trying to think of, like... well,
you got BVS.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. Batman versus Superman, they had to team up to take on Doomsday. There was another one I was thinking of too, where they had to do they didn't have to do that like in Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah, it's anytime where you
another
have
good Freddy movie I know a lot of for some weird reason. Anyways,
yeah, it's anytime you have your main protagonists. In this case, Godzilla and King Kong are both supposed to be good guys within this universe. Good guys within this universe. They defend and fight for the good side. Whatever, they're big creatures. You can't present them as protagonists within their own films and then turn around and, as this trailer is trying to make it look, Godzilla being an antagonist within his own movie. Which actually, side point, that really makes me wonder if they're going to release another trailer that makes King Kong look like an antagonist and makes Godzilla look like a protagonist. Because I think that would be fantastic, like dual marketing. One trailer you got it looking one way, and the next trailer you have it looking the other way. I think that'd be fantastic. But either way, this is what
you got that poster that was released though. The poster was of King Kong back there in the city with Godzilla and his spikes poking out of the water heading towards King Kong. Which, I mean, and that kind of a poster, that I feel like you could take that either way, that Godzilla is going after the big ape that's destroying the city.
The way the marketing looks like to me is that they're making Godzilla look really bad and ominous here. Again, that trailer really showed Godzilla kind of taking the beating a little bit more than King Kong was. And they made him look a little like something's wrong. Something's definitely wrong with Godzilla. They even presented that with Millie Bobby Brown's character saying he's not acting right. Something's not right here. And it's like that's your clue in saying someone's doing something that's making Godzilla not act correctly. And that's why they're bringing in King Kong. Either way, I mean, this is the age-old thing. I mean, we've seen this time and time again. You have your two protagonists fighting. They've got to team up at the end and fight. That's what we're all expecting. Now, that doesn't make it a bad thing. That's what I'm expecting. And if Mechagodzilla is like the antagonist that the two of them have to team up and fight against, I'm going to be happy with my popcorn sitting in the seat watching the movie going, this is some fun stuff. I'm okay with this.
Yeah.
So,
and that's the thing. One of the takeaways from this is, like, every time we get a trailer for these, specifically the Godzilla, I think the Kong movie, Skull Island, I think like it got a lot of good word of mouth with the trailer when it first came out, and people generally liked that movie. It wasn't anything like completely spectacular, but people generally liked that movie. Unlike the Godzilla movies, the trailers come out and they look fantastic, and we're like, ooh, it's beautiful. And then the movie came out, and like the movies have had very lackluster ratings. Once again, we're in that same position where the trailer came out. We're like, this looks awesome. That shot of Kong with what looks like an axe now coming down on, that looks fantastic. And they've said that there definitely will be an end to this, that there will definitely be one winner who is absolutely 100% going to win that battle. So we'll have a conclusion by the end of that as to who's going to win that fight, that bout.
Vernon is right here. We just need large monster fighting, 2 hours of monster fighting. That's the only thing I'm going to see this movie for. I know a lot of people are like, man, this movie looks dumb. There's not going to be any kind of there's no value to the story here. There's no like, what's the plot? This isn't that kind of movie. This is, we're talking about event movies. Chris Nolan is an event movie that I go to for plot. This isn't an event movie that I go to for spectacle. It is okay to enjoy a movie that is pure spectacle. They have their place in entertainment. Just because they exist does not undervalue movies at large. It just means this is a genre of movie that I go to for just the pure fun of what they're able to create in a computer. That's really all that is.
I want to see giant monkey punch giant lizard.
Yeah.
Here's my money. Take it.
I can enjoy that movie just the same as I can go out and enjoy a biography about some major historical figure and the trials and tribulations they went through in their life. I can enjoy both of them. both two different kinds of movies, both have their place within film. So I feel like I need to get that off my chest because I see too many people going Godzilla versus Kong. Like, no, stop it. Put the fist down. Stop shaking it at this movie and go just sit in the seat and enjoy just the dumb spectacle of it.
This isn't like Shakespeare here. I mean, we're not trying to do like an Agatha Christie Hercule Poirot movie here. This is just it is seriously. It's big monkey versus big lizard. I know he's an ape, but whatever.
Dost thou giant ape have skirmish with thou's
mother know you weareth her drapes?
Dost mother knoweth you wear her lizard skin? I don't know. Yeah.
Wow, that was weird. Anyways, so yeah, apparently Mechagodzilla's in this movie, y'all. Go figure.
I'm into it. I'm into it.
The thesis of tonight is that Mechagodzilla's in this movie. Great. Carry on.
Oh man, I don't know. Like, yeah, I'm into it. I'm ready for it. Here's the thing. Again, I said this before. Loved the first Godzilla. Loved Kong Skull Island. King of the Monsters was to me because I was falling asleep during it. This one, looks fun. If it lives up to the hype that the trailer gave me, then I'm gonna enjoy the mess out of this movie, and I'm gonna forget about King of the Monsters completely, and it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm down for it. Put Mechagodzilla. Put all the freaking monsters you want in this. This isn't like a Spider-Man 3. There's too many villains. You're bogging down the plot. This movie doesn't. I don't care about plot. Give me monsters beating the snot out of each other. That's all I want.
We need like a MonsterVerse, like Monster Squad with like all of them versus the humans, and then you got that one kid like, man, Godzilla's got nards,
right? People talk about you want to cross this with Pacific Rim. Fine, do it. Do it after this movie. Do the next movie. It's Godzilla, Kong, and Pacific Rim.
I might need to watch Pacific Rim first, though.
Yeah, I don't care. Yeah, do it. I'll watch it. Great.
Anyway,
just give it to me.
This is the kind of entertainment I need in my life.
At this point, yes. After the last year that we've had, give me giant monsters beating the snot out of each other. That's it. Done. Cut, print, wrap up the show. That's it.
Speaking of which, let's wrap up this show. Sounds like a good idea now that you mention it. So again, trying to keep it a short show tonight. We got a lot of work to do. So anyways, that's going to be it. Y'all have any other questions or comments? Drop those in real quick while we do some plugging for some stuff. First thing I want to mention is, what is today? Today's Tuesday. We're doing a tagline. Duh, that's what day it is. Tomorrow night, Wednesday night, I will be over on the PJ Campbell Network talking about Rent. I love musicals. Rent is easily one of my favorites. You can ask my brother. I typically am walking around this apartment singing Rent songs all the time. That and like Greatest Showman and a couple others too. But
I had a hard time remembering the number, and I know the number now because of you. Yeah, it will never leave my head.
525,600. Yeah. So I absolutely love Rent. I'm eager to go talk about Rent with those fine gentlemen over on the PJ Campbell Network, better known as the Pajukin. So that'll be tomorrow night at 9 Central, 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern. If you like Rent, come join us. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, Pajukin.
Pajukin.
Tomorrow at some point, we will also be releasing our top 10 MCU superhero ranking video. That will be up. If you're on our Patreon at the Avengers tier or higher, you will get our show after the show type of thing, where we're just talking about other heroes that didn't make our list and maybe some of the reasons why, plus a little bit of bloopers will be in there as well. So that'll be sometime tomorrow. Just keep your eyes out on this channel.
It's great stuff because we go into kind of like the breakdown of, you know, what are we thinking when we're making these lists, and we really want to start doing these for a lot of these ranking lists. That way, you guys can kind of dive in and find out what the inner workings of our heads are on some of these things. So it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed both the video itself, making it, and just the kind of just chill. Let's just talk about this, kind of break it down even more after the fact for all of our patrons and everything.
Yeah. And then this coming Friday night, of course, we will be doing our live review Easter eggs of WandaVision episode 4. Word on the street, this is the episode where things are going to start getting a little normal. I want to say a little crazy, but I mean, a little crazy in comparison to what we've got already would be a little normal. So yeah, it's going to start turning a little more into the normal MCU that we are aware of, that we're familiar with.
As you can tell, this is the Roseanne Married with Children episode. So
as we get into like the 80s. So make sure y'all check out episode 4 of WandaVision on Disney Plus, and then come back here Friday night for that. Now, the thing is, for this particular episode, it might be delayed a little. We probably are not going to start it right at like 9 Central as we have kind of before. I think last week we delayed it as well a little, I believe. So it might be a little bit delayed. It's probably going to be anywhere from like 30 to 45 minutes, maybe. We haven't fully decided. It's based off of the fact that we know a large amount of our audience is potentially going to be watching something else that's being live streamed that night. So we kind of want to make sure that we have space, because we kind of want to watch it too.
Yeah. So that's onto our social medias at Cinefanatics MLB. You will be kept up to date immediately. If we know we're delaying it, we'll kind of be able to gauge how long we have to delay that live stream. So hang out on that social media. That way you'll be able to know exactly when we're going. It could be 30 minutes, could be 45 minutes, could be an hour after the 9 o'clock. Either way, we are doing a live stream at night. So just hang tight and tune into that Twitter handle, and you'll find out exactly when we're going to be doing it. So,
yeah. Yeah, I've heard of some kind of like a bloodbath going on Thursday night. I'm not sure where, but if you're curious, anyone watching, I believe the Video Drew channel, also known as just Video Drew without the in front of it, there might be some kind of a blood geyser erupting from like a Johnny Depp type bed. That's probably a really bad reference to make given current circumstances with Johnny Depp right now. But it's very likely going to be anyone who thinks that they could take me on at a Nightmare on Elm Street quiz. It's not going to turn out very well for anyone against me. Again, horror movies. That's the extent of my trash talking on that, by the way. I mean, the rest of it will speak for itself in the actual ring. But Chris, do you have any thoughts, feelings, opinions on this?
If I were to compete again in a quiz on Nightmare on Elm Street, here's the thing: I would be the guarantee that everybody else in that quiz will beat at least one person.
Yeah.
I would not do well. Again, horror movies are not my strong suit. However, they are the very obvious strength of. So, you know, I wouldn't want to compete against him if I were anybody else thinking I had a shot.
Yeah, I mean, it's ill-advised. I mean, if y'all want to, that's cool. I have to beat someone. So
do it. It's going to be fun. Everyone's going to have fun, but
absolutely.
Everyone's going to have fun losing.
Yeah. I mean, I can't say I beat someone if there's no one there to beat. So, I mean, let me beat you so I can say I beat someone. That's how this works. Anyways, I don't know why I needed to clarify that much, but okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that's going to be about done. Yep.
Anyways, well, real quick, that's Thursday night, Video Drew. What is the time frame for that? I want to get real quick. That looks like it's going to be at 10 p.m. Central. So 10 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 Eastern.
I believe that's at Slaughter O'Clock is what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. So, anyways, that's going to do it. Do we have anything else besides the usual? Nope.
That's it. Follow all the social medias, y'all. Chris Adams NLP. He's got his over there.
Robert Adams NLP. Yep.
Boom.
And
Patreon. All sorts of stuff going on over there. This next month, we're going to have watch-alongs to a movie. We're going to be doing movie trivia. All sorts of stuff to jump on the Patreon tiers for. So join up there.
And that's going to do it. We will see y'all later this week. So y'all all have a great night. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being in the chat. Hope this was entertaining for y'all. We will see you later. Good night.
Big monkey fight big lizard. Come on.
Yeah.